10th story. That's what my father told me, that if somebody is born on the 10th story, the rest of them are on the first floor. If you start telling them from there, they will first of all not listen, nor will they understand what you see. It's not proper that we should try to tell them something from a level to a level which is still there, static, in their mind. So one has to raise their consciousness 2-3 stories so they start seeing that there's something beyond. But in doing so, so many mistakes have been there before, and some people have done it deliberately. Some are misguided and some are doing it deliberately. Net result is just the same. Even if you give poison to someone by mistake or in a misguided way, the result is the same. In the same way, whether you are misguided or whether you do it deliberately, whatever is wrong has an effect on the kundalini. Now the Aquarian age is the word I picked up from Dr. Warren, which is so true today. Aquarian means the water carrier, and in Sanskrit language it is called as Kumb. Kumbha is the one what we call the kundalini. The Muladhara is the Kumbha, where the kundalini is there, the power of kundalini is there. So to call it an Aquarian age must be some work of some realized soul who could see that in this age the kundalini is going to be awakened, and that an age will start of people getting their kundalini awakened. Now I have already talked to you the other day about this second center, which is called as Swadhisthana, which gives us our sustenance and also our power to create. The sustenance is created inside that green part, which is represented by main 10 primordial masters. And these 10 primordial masters had another series of masters who were called as disciple principles. Now about these people I have talked to you last time, but today I would like to speak to you about other centers, especially this Nabhi, which is the navel center, which is very important in human beings. This is the center by which we seek. When in amoeba stage we seek food. At a higher level we start seeking heights, like when they became mammoth and all these animals, they wanted to have a height, to go over the trees, to be able to master them and to eat the leaves. But they became so much outsized with their height that they had to become smaller animals, like say intelligent animals, and like say cats and things like that, cat family. And this is how the evolution has been brought forth through our seeking as amoeba, then as animals, and now as human beings. As we have evolved higher and higher, we have become subtler and subtler in our seeking. For example, the people who are seeking, say, power, are not so evolved as people who are seeking their spirit, no doubt about it. Because you have gone through that, you have had enough of it. Maybe last lives you might have been kings and queens, and you must have seen all the jokes of it. So you said, now it's had enough of it, this power business. We don't want to have any more. Such a headache we don't want to have. So the people who are seeking money also are the people who have had enough of it and they were fed up of it. So they said, now we have had it. So now you are seekers of something beyond. It has been always so, something beyond we seek. But this seeking beyond is not described. to so many people, and they are not able to understand what is the beyond. That's why this center is very important of your evolutionary process. Now, first of all, as I have told you, that we have to be in balance. That's one thing we must have, is the balance in life. I mean, in common sense also we can see, supposing there's a car going only on one wheel, how many would like to travel by that? Anything that you do in life has to have a balance. Otherwise, anything, even catching something, holding something, or small things, even riding a bicycle, you know that you have to have a balance. So if the kundalini has to move, you have to be a balanced personality, a personality with a temperate nature, and must have a balanced attitude towards life. That is very important. But in case it is not, you can be sucked into the central path of the Sushumna, in the central path of your evolution. Now the evolution takes place by remaining in the central path. Those who go to the extremes fall out of this. Now the virus that we suffer from very commonly is nothing but a kind of a vegetable which is fallen out of evolution. Now the vegetable that we call as tobacco is going to fall out of complete evolution, and you will be surprised after some years you will not find any tobacco growing anywhere, because it will go out of evolution. Thanks to human beings that they misunderstood the role of tobacco. Tobacco is an insecticide. It is to be used for killing the insects and not to kill yourself. But we sometimes forget that whatever God has created for the good, sometimes we can use it for our destruction. Same is alcohol. Alcohol was created for polishing. It's very good. For example, if you have to polish your crystal, you should use gin. It's very good for diamonds or anything. It's just a polish. It's a polish for the for anything. It gives a polish. See, alcohol is a polish, and its composition is such that it gives a polish to a thing. Now God wanted you to have polished surfaces and polished things and all the clean look of it, so He gave you this polish. Now you started drinking it. Now what to do? He never asked you to drink. But if you drink that, then it polishes your intestines also. But it has its own nature. It doesn't have any idea of morality. Poor thing. We can't blame the alcohol, because it is supposed to polish. Wherever you put it, it polishes. All right. So it polishes your liver also nicely. And when the liver is nicely polished, then what happens? That the heat from the liver, which is for the expulsion from the body, it has to pass into the bloodstream, cannot, because there's a barrier. And because of that barrier, poor liver does not know what to do. It just goes on accumulating all the heat within it, and that's how your liver goes out of circulation of anything. You have liver problems and you feel very giddy, nauseating, and liver is the one which really cleanses your attention. Whatever you gather from your attention, it cleanses. So you become horrid. I mean, you are all the time angry, hot-tempered, you bark at people all the time. All that thing is typically liverish, you see. You grow tall like that, absolutely straight line, and you become very hot-tempered. Sometimes you could be hawk-like. People will be afraid of going nearer such a person, because such a person can be very dry personality. And that's why you'll find drunkard people, if they are over-drunk, you go near them, they'll just beat you for nothing at all. I mean, it sometimes happens that by chance, if you go and ask some drunkard that what's the time in the night, you will have it. So, because it spoils your awareness. And in that awareness, a nice man also could be like that. But of course, there could be a case where a person might become better. That is also another thing that can happen when you get possessed by this left side movement, because alcohol reduces your awareness and you go to the left side, movement to the left side may give you a feeling, oh, I'm very much better now, and sort of you get happy because your ego is subsided and everything is all right, and I'm really morbid now, I cannot hit anyone, and let me have a little bit and sleep off. But next day there's a hangover and you feel so horrible with it that you don't know what to do. I mean, it's something, then again you want to have it in the night because you want to again go to the same realm into the left side. Now this left side realm apparently shows that there is reduction in the weight of the ego, but it does not, it wobbles. What happens that you go to the superego on the left hand side, you see there, and the ego then thinks that it has gone down because the superego increases in size. But when superego increases, the ego is pushed down, and then when you come to your ego condition, then it pushes down. So there's a big wobbling going on, and such people get ultimately very much confused. They might end up in a lunatic asylum, I don't know what they do, but when they are even sane, you can find they lose the grip over life. For example, such people can become very frivolous and cannot feel the joy of life without drinking. It's most amazing that people can't enjoy each other unless and until there's a glass in between. I mean, human beings are so beautiful and they have the capacity to enjoy each other so much. They are the only ones who are blessed more than anybody else. But if there's a glass all the time in between, then they can just bark at each other. They cannot enjoy each other. The enjoyment should be complete when there's nothing in between. Now this is what I was telling you, this Nabhi Chakra. This Nabhi Chakra gets ruined also when we take to alcohols or serious things like that, drugs, and even I've seen certain medicines can spoil this. Then you get a problem with other things like digestion, you get constipation, all sorts of things take place by which you develop gas troubles and other troubles and then your heart troubles, and it goes on one after another. I do not say that it's only alcohol that will cause. There are other causes also, but alcohol can never be helpful in giving you good health. Some people have a feeling that if you take alcohol then only you will keep good health. It's a wrong thing. Because health is not only physical health, it's also mental health. People think that physical health is the end of everything. Is absolutely wrong, because we are not only the physical being, we are also the mental being and the emotional being. And when you play too much with your Nabhi Chakra, you have the biggest problem, and that is that you can never be successful in life as far as enjoyment is concerned of your achievements. For example, a person becomes rich, unduly rich he becomes, is a blessing, I should say, of Nabhi Chakra on the right hand side. Right hand side Nabhi Chakra can give you a lot of wealth, a lot of money, and you'll have 10 cars and 15 people attending to you, everything you may have. But it cannot give you the satisfaction of life. You will go on accumulating and end up with a suicide or something like that, and you would not know why you are bent upon committing suicide. That's why in all affluent countries you find people are planning to commit suicide, and the more affluent they are, the worse it is. But the left side gets completely dried. Now the left side is the center of the family life, the Graha Lakshmi, the goddess of the family, the household. You see. A person who runs after money too much forgets his family. He has no time for his family. The husband and wife may meet somewhere on the airport, or may just wave at each other sometimes, you see, crossing each other. Or the children suffer the most. And in that case, the women also then take up with the men. They compete, what's wrong? They start copying men. And in doing so, when they compete with each other, then what happens? That this family life gets disturbed. The woman of the household is dissatisfied, her ego is not satisfied. In olden times, the man used to go in the jungle and get all the wood cut, bring it home. and give it to the wife, and wife used to cook. There was no problem because there was barter system. He could see her working in the household. Now the husband earns the money and the woman spends. I mean, that also requires some work, isn't it, to spend the money. But to man it looks like that I am the earning member and she is the spender. So she says, all right, I will also earn. But in this too much of competition like this between the two, what happens? The family suffers, the children suffer, and such a person will have problem with the wife will have problem with the husband, and you can always feel that center on this finger. If that finger is catching, that means there's something wrong with your family relationship, that you have to adjust yourself and he has to adjust. It's an important thing, because you are like the flowers which have to produce a fruit. That's what nature wants. Nature wants that you are there to produce the fruit, that is your children. That's why you are men and women. That's the basics. Now, if you think that with that responsibility, if you can do something else, you should do. But the main thing is that, and if you don't do that, is to look after your children, to give them joy, have a beautiful nest for them, then I must say that you are neglecting your basic duty and your attention on something else. That's why so many divorces are taking place and problems are there. Then women ask for their rights, they go beyond their limits, they became dominating here, the men become dominating. That's not the way we are going to solve. We have to know that we are two wheels of one chariot. One on the left, another in the right. Now they are not similar. They are two types, one left side, one on the right side. But they are equal. Whatever they do, it's equal. They are to be respected equally in the same manner. And it is always so. For example, I had a girl who came to me, and she was a private secretary. And she told me, "Mother, you say this, but I have seen that all these men come and flirt with their private secretaries." So I said, all right, maybe so. But what does that matter? You see, that shows there's something wrong with the man. He doesn't understand. He's off his head. He cannot enjoy his wife and he's running after other things. It's like having something in your house and you're looking at other things, you see. Like in India, if you go to somebody comes to your house, be careful about your things. But in England, I tell them, if somebody comes to your house, be careful about your wife. See, it's just a little difference between, but the second one is a dangerous thing because fundamental. The wife is a fundamental thing because you do not know what she will do, how she will react, and you do not know how the guest, because that is regarded as their freedom. But if you take away something from somebody's house, that's not freedom, because we can take away anything from somebody's house. Why should anybody arrest us? Because there is a free will for you to do what you like, is allowed to do what you like, but in that free will you are harming so many people and ultimately your society. Now these two wheels, as I said, are very important to God, because so many great people want to take birth on this earth. So many great souls want to take birth on this earth. And if we behave in such a manner that all the time this chariot is this way going up or that way going up, I can tell you no child would be willing to be born in this place who are great people. Only the people who are of the worst type will be born. There will be hooligans, there will be horrible people with a horrid nature, and they spoil the whole atmosphere of the countries where husband and wife do not have good relationship. The children will be such hooligans and such horrible things that will be surprised that at the age of 8 years and 5 years they'll be committing murders and doing all kinds of such things that you'll be shocked. Now between you and me, because you are also husbands and wife, and one thing it should be there, that we should not quarrel before our children. We should have all decency of husband and wife. There are so many things we do not do in the presence of our children. In the same way, we need not sit down and quarrel and say, I hate you and I hate you. I tell you, this is something you have to change a little bit in our language. In India, if somebody says, I hate you, it's regarded, that man regarded as the most unmannerly person. I mean, very bad manners to say, I hate you. How? I mean, it shows that you are a very low type of a person to say like that. But I hate you, so what? If you hate, so what? You are not God. If you hate me, what does it matter? Actually, if somebody hates someone, so what? That shows that person is not a good person, just to hate someone. I hate you is a way of expressing something that is, I feel, is very wrong for the family system. It shocks children. Children look upon you as ideals. When they are born, you should see them. Most of the children nowadays in Australia are born realized. I see them around when I went to the airport, and I see they are born realized. And they watch, and they're surprised, and they sulk, and they feel very sad. They don't take sides. They don't like the father to fight the mother to fight. And one other thing which you must understand, that a certain gradation has to be there. A woman is the strongest point of the household, like this Mother Earth is. She takes all the problems upon herself. Because she is the strongest. Who else can withstand this kind of weight on her? It's the mother. In the same way, a woman in the house is the mother, and she has to bear up. You see, it's nice to have a husband who comes home and says whatever he likes and takes out all the filth on you, than to have a husband who is very sweet, hello, hello, and outside he goes like a bumptious tiger on everyone. Such a man you see, they are like children, I would say. They are like children. They have to take out their tensions on their wives only. And you should be an absorber of that. And that's the sign of a woman. A strong woman doesn't get easily disturbed by these things. She's not bothered. She says, all right, you little baby, come along. Now I have had 4 babies, now this is the 5th one, which is the smallest has come. Let him shout and scream. Even with the children, you have to be patient. They'll hit you, they'll do anything. I would say that way in India, children are treated very kindly, and they are special things. They will do what they like when they are children. But when they grow up, we do not have teenage problem. We do not have problem when the children don't respect. This is a very important aspect of our modern life that we have to understand. What is the relationship of husband and wife is? Husband is like, say, a gentleman who is definitely is to be respected by the wife. But if she does not respect the husband, she cannot get respect for her children. But the husband has to be a respectable man. That's very important. If the man is not respectable, he cannot be respected easily. But the more is the woman has to be very respectable. If she doesn't give her respect, you can handle any kind of man if you are clever enough. Drunkards, all sorts, they come down. Because after all, they are human beings. They are not bad people. But because of mishandling, they just get out. And the domination of men is just a myth. See, they cannot dominate. They are incapable of domination. They just do it because they want to feel that they are superior. That's all. But they cannot dominate. Whatever domination, what is their domination? It's little things here and there. Just like children. That's what it is. If women understand their maturity and their responsibility as women, because they are the Shakti. They are the power of the family. And they are the potent Shakti for the husband as well as for the children. But if they get disturbed, then the husband is disturbed and children are also disturbed. But they are potent. While the kinetics are these people, like here is the electricity, all right. So we say very good lamp and electricity and all that. But from where does it come? The source is somewhere quietly sending the source and enjoying itself by giving that source. In the same way, this is a very important center. Why I said it? Because today I went to Melbourne, and all the time this finger was burning up to this point. So that means there's something wrong with men and women as far as their family life is concerned. They are all very upset, I felt. The husband is upset and the women. Maybe the laws may be against men, maybe here, I don't know. But in America I found a husband and wife relationship is very queer. For example, I met a lady who was very queer people there. I went and stayed with a lady. She had a luxurious house with a swimming pool and this, and a maid coming to do everything up, and 5 stories and this. And she said, you see, one of my former husbands will come and see you in Los Angeles. I said, all right, very good idea. So he came, he was like a pauper, walking like this. And he says, I have got a room on rent where I am staying, mother. It's very difficult, I have to share it with someone. I said, what? That lady was there. she has a very big house, she's supposed to be a wife. He said, that's mine. I tell you, I lost it to her in a case. I said, how could you lose that in a case? Because she asked for a divorce and because she found guilty out of me, so she got it. And she married 3 husbands, all the 3 husbands are moving like paupers and this lady is very rich. If you marry 7 husbands are finished forever, but the lady is so rich 7 times more than any one of them. So this is kind of a law I don't understand. First of all, why there should be a law I don't understand between husband and wife. I just don't understand. I mean, we don't have such laws in India, but everybody cares for the wife because she is the nearest and the dearest person they have. Who else to depend? If the woman is dedicated and devoted to husband, do you think he'll run after any other woman? He has to come back to her. He'll be so fed up with these women who just live for money or anything, that he has to come back. So you see, one has to take a very wise decision because you must understand you are born at a juncture, whether on which you will be destroyed completely or you will be saved completely. It's a very important thing. You have to save humanity. You are born at a time when you have to save humanity. It's not only kundalini awakening that will help because you might be saved, but you have to save the whole society, the whole family, the whole, I should say the whole universe or the whole creation will have no meaning if you people are destroyed. Now this is one of the way of destruction, by destroying the family. The children become mad, the husband becomes mad. They all end up in orphanages. That's what I've seen. They are mostly in orphanages in their old age. There's nobody to bother about. So it's a question of giving and giving and giving. Now this Graha Lakshmi's center is on the left hand side and the another is Raja Lakshmi center is on the right hand side. Now this center gives us the power to rule over people and we become very, in extremes you see we can become very arrogant and we can become very, very sort of authoritative and we might sort of end up with a funeral with 10,000 people behind us, all bought from market and put there behind you without any feelings. That's all, finished. With such a man finished, they say, oh thank God he died. He was a horrible terror for us. So that kind of a life can come with Raja Lakshmi. But in the center is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess, is the power within us by which we balance, lead a very balanced life, by which we are satisfied. Now they have made a beautiful picture of this Lakshmi, also one should understand this power, is a lady, is a mother, and she stands on a lotus. Now these are all symbols which suggest that these symbols are carved out with such deep significance. She stands on a lotus. Means imagine who can stand on a lotus. And she is a very healthy woman, and she stands on a lotus. It means that she is never putting pressure on anyone. A rich man comes in, he must honk his car loudly because he is rich, so he thinks he must honk it higher. And a rich man must go in a big limousine or some sort of a thing to show off that he is very rich. If he comes to any program or they must sit in front, he should have the front seat and he makes him known. Everywhere, everybody must feel the weight of the rich man. He can run away with 10 wives of somebody and he can have a big boat for himself and he can get any number of women there and he can spoil any families he likes because he is rich. This kind of thing comes in people, but Lakshmi, the one who stands on the lotus, is the beauty and the glory of the riches that God has given that person. Then, it has got 2 red pink flowers in the hand that are lotus flowers again. Now the lotus is regarded as a very holy flower in India because it is so receptive to everything that is crude and funny. First of all, it is born in the mud. Just think of it. In the mud, in the filth, where the horrible smell is coming out, the lotus is born. And the one lotus gives the fragrance, the beautiful fragrance to the whole atmosphere, and kills all that filth and everything, and covers the whole pond with its big, big leaves, so that it looks a beautiful pond. That's what is the lotus for. But this lotus is a pink lotus, means pink, is the sign of love. Pink is the sign of love. So such a person has to have tremendous love and that softness of the lotus. Now the inside of the lotus is very soft and nice. And I don't know what you call that, the black bee, a very big one, which has got horrible, the black bee, it's like that, which has got angular legs and things like that, horrible, you cannot touch it. That one can find its place in the lotus. When it goes to the lotus opens its petals and takes it inside and makes it sleep on the corona that it has, very soft one on the bed, and covers it nicely and gives it a nice, swinging feeling that it feels it is in the lap of the mother and it sleeps off. Even such an animal, it gives a place to live. Now the man who is a Lakshmipati, the one who is blessed with Lakshmi, has to have a temperament like that. Anybody who comes to his house, anyone, should be very readily accepted. I have seen people like that. I have seen in my lifetime. Should be accepted, and they should be very gratified to have such people in the house, and should feel that, oh God, what a blessing it is that we have a guest in the house. But in modern times, we find out devices and methods how to avoid guests. Guests are equal to pests. I was